Welcome back to another video. Excuse the state of me. We are back in another heat wave, and I was supposed to train this morning before it got too hot here. However, woke up at 3 in the morning last night, literally couldn't sleep because it was just so hot in our house. So ended up sleeping on the sofa last night because it was just unbearably warm in our bedroom. It was so much cooler downstairs, which was nice because Zuko then got to sleep next to me, like curled up to my feet, which was cute. But it does mean that, one, my body is feeling stiff from sleeping on the sofa last night, and two, I just could not get myself up this morning. Like, I absolutely could not get myself up this morning. So I ended up literally laying on the sofa until like 9:30. Had a bit of a very lazy morning, not gonna lie. I'm only now training, it's literally 12:15, so later than planned, but it's fine, I've still got plenty of time. Worlds today starts at 4 for the prime time session of the 84s and the 120s, so I've still got plenty of time to get this session done, have some lunch, and then get some work done before Worlds, get the rest done after Worlds. That's not a problem at all. But yeah, it's very warm and I'm not really thriving in it. Normally I'm okay in the summer, but this year I'm finding it really hard. But it's fine, I won't complain too much. Today's session is squats and deadlifts, primary on both, and it's the final week of the first block back self-coaching. Can't get my words out. So it's nothing heavy, like it was a very light intro block, but I think my planned top set of 4 on squats is 165. Then I've got 3x6 at 150, which is going to suck in this heat, but squat has been feeling good lately, so I'm hoping that all feels easy breezy. I've then got sumo deadlifts. I've got a top set of 4 at 155, which again, is pretty light, pretty comfortable, should be fine. My lower back is feeling a little bit off today, but that is literally just from the fact that I slept on the sofa last night and like my neck's a little bit stiff and stuff, but that's to be expected after sleeping on the sofa. So I'm not going to worry too much. And I think once I start moving, I should kind of be fine. Also having to just keep an eye on what's going on behind the camera because Zuko is in here causing havoc. But yeah, no, I've then got sumo 6s. I've got a set of 6 at 140 and then 2x6 at 130, so they should be really light and comfortable. And then just some lower body accessories. I think I mentioned in the last video, this is like my trial block back. So like trialing a new structure, training 5 days a week again, trialing different accessory movements, figuring out what my body can and can't handle with my injuries and things. And this has been a really productive 3 weeks in that my injuries and stuff haven't really flared up. Other than like the odd little bit of lower back stiffness and stuff, my lower back's pretty much been fine. My hamstring issue hasn't flared up at all this block. Like I might notice it slightly sometimes, but it hasn't been an issue in day-to-day life. And actually by the time I finish training, it's generally feeling fine again because the accessory movements I'm doing and some of the rehab movements that I've still included essentially just kind of help kind of calm it down again. So I'm feeling pretty positive about the structure that I've got. I am going to be making some changes to this day in particular, and I'm going to be going to a commercial gym again on a Saturday, which I'm going to hate myself for because it does then mean another day of having to go out and go to the gym. But there's just some lower body movements that I know are low-hanging fruits that I can do, but I can't really do a variation of at home and do it well. So I am going to be adding some accessories in, which obviously next week in this video, I'll break down the changes that I make and stuff, but I'm quite looking forward to doing that. It's just going to suck having to go to the commercial gym 2 days in a row. Like what a problem to have, but it's fine. And because it's the weekend, it'll be quiet, which I would much rather do that at the weekend than go weeknights anyway, like I was doing before. So it all will be fine. But I think it's been a really productive few weeks of training. I'm feeling really positive. Benching is feeling more natural than ever again, which is fantastic after months of just really struggling with it. Squats are also feeling more natural again. Like I'm not really overthinking the movement pattern too much. Like I'm kind of just trusting my body again, which is what I've been missing for a long time. And deadlifts, they're starting to click again. I think they detrained so much after comp that it just took me a while to get back in the groove with sumo, but I feel like I'm kind of back in it. I just have to be very cautious with my back and everything and just make sure I'm not getting lazy with my setup because it's still obviously something I'm still getting used to kind of doing. It's not a fully natural movement yet. So if I don't kind of go in with full intention, I do end up yanking the bar and then upsetting my lower back. But that shouldn't be too hard to not do. I'm just going to take my time with it. And yeah, but I've been really enjoying being back self-coaching. Like this was absolutely the right call for me. Yeah, I'm really happy I made that decision. There's literally not one part of me that regrets it, which is a really nice feeling because I was worried that I'd get to like a few weeks in and kind of miss it. But yeah, that's all I have to say today. I am going to crack on before I overheat too much. I'm already sweating and I've literally just been sat in here talking, so that's a good sign for what's to come. Not looking forward to squatting in this heat, but I am just going to take my time and just kind of be kind and just like not rush through it. I think lower back and stuff is going to take a while to ease off anyway because it is feeling pretty tight and uncomfortable, but I know it'll be fine once I get moving.
So freaking cool. can you believe? He'll bring his friends to college guys. Our weekend plans are such a dream. My friends think she's so dumb and stupid, but I won't tell anyone. Not a soul. That when we are alone, she's touching me. Well, I'm a sucker for it. Give it to me. The way she's looking at me, she's so damn perfect. It's so damn worth it. The secret we keep. Yeah, I'm a sucker for it. So, this is what happened. Brianna's such a goddess, could get anyone she likes. But when she's looking at me like that, I know she's only mine. My friends think she's so dumb and stupid, but I won't tell anyone. Her hands are in my hair, whisper in my ear. I won't tell anyone. Not a soul. But when we are alone, she's touching me. Well, I'm a sucker for it.
I want everyone to ignore the state of me. I'm boiling. I'm actually boiling. That was a very mixed session. So squats were actually pretty great. The only issue I had with squats was I didn't chalk my back until after my top set. So the 165 was like rolling down my back the whole time, and it felt comfortable. It was just very slow and steady, and it was because it was just rolling and I could feel it, and I was like, this isn't ideal, but it was fine. It was still comfortable, and there was still plenty of room left. And, you know, for the first block back, I'm happy with that. I was actually really happy. I mean, I hated doing them. Really happy with the 3x6 at 150. It felt really solid the entire time. Like every set kind of felt the same. They all felt like work, but they all felt like there was plenty of room left. And that's when I used to coach myself previously, I always did straight sets on my back offs on my primary squat day, and they were always moderately heavy, like a moderate load. And I'm already kind of back to that, which is what the goal of this block really was, just build that tolerance back up for that kind of rep work. Because previously what I was doing when I was with Lewis was one heavier set and then more lighter sets, just for like more quality work. But actually for me, I'm still doing that method on my secondary day. But for me, with my primary squat, like, it always feels best when I have that heavier rep work, whether that's a psychological thing of like knowing that I can do, like previously I was doing like 3x5s at 165 after a super heavy top set and stuff. Like, I think it might be a confidence thing, but also I think my squat just responds really well to it. I don't really know what else to say. Like, my squat just responds really well to it. And the fact that I'm already back to be able to do 3x6 at 150, obviously I could do that when I was working with Lewis, but it just would have sucked a lot more. And for it to, I mean, it sucked because of the heat today, but it was really comfortable. And I thought when I wrote up this block and the loads and everything and the rough load plan for this block, I was expecting this day to feel a lot harder on those sets, and it really didn't at all. So I'm really happy with that. Deadlifts, however, I think I need to stop being lazy and start at 70 is first lesson, because my hips felt awful when I did my first rep at 120. I assumed that because I was already obviously boiling and warm from squatting that I would be fine, because usually starting at 120 does feel fine. But actually I think I probably should have started a bit lighter, because my hips just felt awful on that first set. And I do actually think that's literally just from sleeping on the sofa last night. Like I said, coming in, my back and everything didn't feel amazing. Like, I just didn't feel great. It just didn't feel good. So I did a few reps at 120, and actually after a couple of reps it felt better. So I went up to 140, and 140 just felt kind of hard. And I was like, well, if I chuck my belt on, I'll go to 155, I'll see how it feels. And I literally did the first rep, and the first rep felt okay, but then I just like, I probably could have grinded out and broke the floor on the second, but it wasn't as comfortable as it's supposed to be for this week. So I was like, let's just call it there. So I sat down for a few minutes. I was like, right, just get your head in it, stop overthinking, and just give it another shot. And so I did. And it was the same story. I'm not actually upset about it or worried about it either, which is, it's very nice for me to feel like that, because I've done 155 for a set of 7 before when my sumo was a lot less refined. So I know that I'm strong enough to do way more than this, and that's not a problem. It's just an off day. And I think it is just partly my hips and my back and everything. I'm just a bit conscious of that, like subconsciously, like not even like that I'm actually thinking about it as I do it, because I felt fine doing them. What I might do is I might retry tomorrow. So I went down to 140 to try and do my set of 6 before I did my lighter sets of 6 at 130. And again, it just didn't even feel worth it. Like, something just felt a bit off, and I don't think it's worth me pushing through that. Like, the whole point of this first 3-week block back is literally, it's not to hit certain loads, it's not to do anything like that. It's just to find the new structure of my week, find certain weak points that I can start targeting, make sure I can, get some actual lower body work in without reflaring my injuries, that sort of thing. And I've absolutely achieved that. So I'm actually okay with deadlifts going absolutely horrendously wrong tonight or today. It is what it is. And I know that it's just one of those days. And like I say, if I feel really good tomorrow, when I come out to bench, I might even just kind of retry and just kind of do a few extra warm-up sets and just see how they feel. But I think it's just a case of one off day. My hips didn't feel incredible, and it is what it is. I also realized as well, fueling myself wise. So I mentioned in a previous video this week, just with how busy I've been, I've definitely been neglecting taking care of myself in a lot of aspects. One of them being nutrition, not in the terms of I've just been overeating like crazy, like I normally would when I'm not on it with my nutrition, more in a case of, which is very unlike me, under-eating or just convenience eating. And yesterday, I hardly ate. And my last meal was at 3, which I trained at 12. I started training 12:30 today. And all I've had today is a bowl of cereal. So I do think that probably had an impact. I will also say, when I was doing my lunges that I did after my main work, they're just body weight today, just literally kept my hips and knees moving. Even they felt really stiff and uncomfortable. So I do think it's just a bit of an off day in terms of my hips and stuff not feeling good. But I've got lots of ideas to amend this day and change up the accessories. And actually, I think going to the gym on this day is going to be really good for me for my accessories. And I'm not worried about sumo. I've got so much time. And also, I'm going to be honest, I'm leaning towards not doing British. I know it's still ages away. It's not until December. And we're literally in the end of June, middle of June. But part of me is just strongly considering not bothering and just having a super long off season to just address all of these weaknesses that I've got and come back stronger than ever next year. But then at the same time, I don't want to wait an entire another 18 months to compete at a competitive comp. Obviously, I'd do a comp to qualify for next year's British, but do I really want to wait until December 2027 to show out? Not really. So I'll see. But I'm not as sound doing it as I think I thought I was, which is interesting for me. Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow for my bench and possibly redoing my deadlift, depending on how I feel. Okay, so it's Sunday evening, it is 7:30. Decided not to train this morning because of the fact I had to go to the gym. World started at 12 today, and obviously I want to watch the whole thing live, film the last recap podcast, but because Ray was in a separate group, so one of the 120s that was in a battle for podium ended up competing in the C group, I was like, I need to see that before I watch the primetime session. So I decided it made more sense to just train in the evening, especially because World was going to be over by 2:30. And very glad I made this decision, because the relief I feel and the lack of stress I feel for the first time in over a week is lovely. World is over. I managed to do daily recaps and get them all out same day, literally for the last 9 days straight. So I'm very, very proud of that. Also made the terrible decision to book in a podcast tomorrow. So I was going to take a full week off. So yeah, I was going to take a full week off just to decompress, and also because I've not had much free time at all in the last week, and also work stuff that I've been needing to get done. A lot of that got pushed this week. Obviously the non-urgent, non-client facing stuff got moved to this week now coming. And also I'm away next weekend. So I'm also going to be probably cramming my training sessions in Monday to Friday. I mean, I'm training literally all 5 days back to back, which means I will be training 8 days in a row. I might push one of the sessions to the weekend still, because I will have time, I think, Sunday morning to find a gym where I'm staying and do one of my sessions there, maybe primary SBD there, but I'm not sure yet. But current plan is to literally train Monday to Friday this week now coming. I've also booked in a podcast tomorrow night, which is so that I don't end up missing a week, because I can't let myself miss a week, even though I have every reason to deserve to miss a week after literally doing 9 days in a row. But it's fine. I kind of want to keep riding this wave of momentum that I've just built up. I've got loads of new listeners. I've been getting loads of engagement and interaction on it, and I kind of don't want to lose that, which I know I won't, but it's also fun. But I do already feel more kind of relieved and less stressed, just knowing that I'm not going to be tied to obviously watching events every single day, relaying everything for every single day, and just a little bit more brain space will be available, which will be good. Today's session, we have got bench. I've got ascending sets into an AMRAP. So I've got a triple at 105, a double at 110, a single at 115. I'm not going to lie, I'm not expecting this to feel great, just because the last couple of weeks bench on this day has felt reasonably heavy, and obviously things like stress and everything's been quite high. Haven't really been looking after myself too well. Food today has been on point for the first time this week, to be fair. I do have an AMRAP at 105 as well, which I don't really have any expectations for, so just going to see what happens with that. And then off to the commercial gym to do my upper accessories and my rowing machine sprints for the first time since I programmed them 3 weeks ago technically, because my neck currently, don't want to jinx this, feels pretty good. If it doesn't feel good enough to do rowing machine sprints, I'm going to try something different, but I will be getting some kind of cardio in tonight as well. So happy with that. Yeah, let's see how we get on. Okay, so I'm obviously not happy with how bench just went. Terrible, to be honest with you. The 105 triple was okay. The 110 double was definitely harder. It looked better on video than it felt. 115 should never be that slow for me anymore. And 105, I'm expecting at least 5 reps. However, I am just going to brush past it and not really worry about it too much. Like my session yesterday, other than squats, wasn't great either. My stress levels this week have been like brink of burnout. So probably past the point of burnout. And that will absolutely have had an effect. So I'm just going to kind of write it off. The whole purpose of this intro block, like I've already said, was find movements that are keeping me pain-free, find areas that I need to focus on, you know, start focusing on those areas as well and just check that the pain remains low. And that's all been successful. I've already sat down this afternoon as well after I finished all of my work and caught up on everything, what I want to add in next block. So the next block is kind of written up and planned, which I'm quite excited to talk through the changes, which will be in the next video. But yeah, overall, it's fine. This is the weakest I'm allowed to be, right? Like I don't need to be strong this block. I wasn't ever going to be strong this block. And with everything I've been doing this week, like I've literally, when I say I've had no downtime, that is not an exaggeration. Like I've literally been at my desk most of the time until I literally shut off to go to bed. Like even dog walking, because the temperature's been so hot here, it's been too hot to walk the dog most evenings as well. So other than a first thing in the morning dog walk, like I've hardly done any steps. I've literally hardly had any time to just like clear my mind and think. So I'm not complaining about that either. Like this week has absolutely been worth it. But of course, training wasn't going to go amazingly. However, I am now ready to fully lock back in as the athlete. Obviously, I've still been ticking the boxes I can. I mean, the nutrition this week has not been great. And obviously stress management and stuff hasn't been good. But that changes now. Next week is a phenomenally busy week for me, but it is week 1 of the new block. So it's light, it's fine, it won't cause any problems. And if I do need to train at the weekend, I still can. It's just I'd rather not have to, because then it's just one less thing I have to think of while I'm then away at the weekend. But I'm only actually handling on Saturday morning. I think I'm reffing Saturday afternoon and then I'm reffing Sunday afternoon as well. So I can train Sunday morning if I need to, or even Sunday evening when I get home. It'll just be after a long drive. So I have options. I would like to get it all done before I go, just so that it's all done. But because it's week 1, that's fine. And then from there, it will literally just be lock in, prioritize my training. I'm going to start really blocking out my time a lot better as well. So actually sitting down on a Monday when I write my to-do lists for the following week and just block out exact times I'm doing each thing, exact training times and stuff. I'm also going to make sure my phone is always on Do Not Disturb when I train, and probably put it on airplane mode as well. I'm going to probably bring the whiteboard down so I can just have my program written on the whiteboard for every session. And essentially just minimal phone usage only to film sets. I think that will help me as well, because I have been quite bad for going on my phone during sets this week, which is not good when I'm trying to focus on training, obviously. So a few things I'm going to implement to help me lock back in, because I do feel like I need to fully get back to athlete Sian. Like I feel like something's been missing recently. And now that I'm coaching myself again as well, I feel like the stubborn side of me is like, no, you need to prove that you can do this. So excited for her to come back out and to see the progress start again. But yeah, overall, I'm not mad about her blocks gone. Squats are definitely in a good place. Bench just needs some work, and I just need to kind of stop being hard on myself. But to be honest, like I'm trialing a new structure as well with bench, and it's fine. And then deadlifts, who knows? I didn't do any deadlifts today either. I said I might retry sumo today. I'm going to be honest, I have very bad lower body DOMs today, partly from neglecting my protein intake this week in my diet. But also I think just pushing the 3x6 yesterday at 150, that's the heaviest I've done for a 3x6 in a minute. And I think my legs are just a bit sore today, but not complaining. But also because I'm training 5 days back to back next week, / it'll be 8 days in total back to back of training. It seems silly to be deadlifting today because I'll be deadlifting again on Tuesday. So just going to not bother and going to just kind of start the new block fresh, because I've also kind of made a change with deadlifts as well.
We